Welcome to State of Tech. My name's Jared. Today we're going to take a look at a battery case from Incipio for the S6. Now, if you have a Galaxy S6, you probably are aware of its short battery life. I was really excited to get this phone because it's a nice phone. Samsung makes some beautiful devices. However, the battery life is horrible on the phone. You can't even use the phone for a full day under normal conditions. And considering how I use my phone, I definitely don't get a full day of use out of it. So when Incipio came out with this case, I was extremely excited because a battery case would help get me that extra time that I need in order to use my phone throughout the entire day. So let's take a look at this case really quick. Not only is it a battery case, but it also has a micro SD card slot, which means the simple fact that the Galaxy S6 doesn't allow you to put an external card in there to get more memory, this case does. Now, it's really kind of clever how they did this. The case itself can be in charge mode, or it can be in kind of, I guess you'd call it external hard drive mode, because you can slide your little micro SD card in here, and I have a lot of 64 gig micro SD cards I could slide right in there and get an additional 64 gigabytes out of my phone. Prior to that, you would have had to buy more memory, buy a phone with more memory. Samsung, started switching over to selling devices that come in, I think there's a 32, 64, and 128 gigs. So depending on how much storage space you want, you're gonna spend a bunch more money. So this case is actually two pieces. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop the outer kind of cover off of this case and slide the phone into the case. So we'll go ahead and just slide the phone right in. There's a port right here that plugs into the bottom of your phone, so you need to be careful to line that up really well. Slide your phone in, and then you put the outer cover back around. So we'll go ahead and slide this back around the phone and snap it all into place. And it snaps in pretty well and stays really secure. So we'll go all the way around, making sure all of the sides are nice and tight. The buttons feel really good on the, a lot of times with cases, your volume buttons become really weird, or even your power button becomes extremely touchy, so you're always turning your phone on and off. The power button does a really good job of very simply, pressing it down. It isn't going to activate really too easily. The volume buttons are still really responsive. It does add some size to your phone. If you notice, the phone is a bit taller now, a bit more thickness, definitely. As you can see, the cutout in the back of the phone here for your camera and your flash. So it doesn't seem to affect any of that stuff as far as taking photos. This bevel here does a good job of staying out of the way. You get a lot of additional time out of this case. Just simply putting the case on doesn't activate the battery mode, so you don't have to be using the battery mode unless you are in need of some charge. To do that, the battery indicator button down here, you push and hold it, and you'll feel your phone vibrate a little bit the same way that it would if you plugged a charger into the base of your phone. So now my phone is in charging mode, and I could press that button again and hold it down to turn that off. Over on this side, let me turn the screen back off. Over on this side, there's a little switch that allows you to switch between charging mode and storage mode. That switch activates either the ability to charge your phone, just as we went through, or switching it into memory mode will activate your micro SD card that's there, giving your phone the extra storage that you need. So most of the time you're going to want to stay in that mode so you can actually be storing photos and videos and other things straight to your card, as opposed to the internal storage of your phone. And then when you need that extra charge, you can go ahead and switch it into charge mode just by flipping the switch and then holding down the button once again to activate charge mode. So overall, this case is pretty fantastic. One thing that it does do is it reroutes the audio. Typically, the audio would come out of the bottom of your phone, and it actually reroutes the audio right here. So one of my concerns was that I wasn't going to get as good of an audio experience out of this phone. However, now with this case, it kind of has front-facing speaker. So when I'm watching a video on YouTube or a movie or something like that, the audio is actually coming right at me, and I have not really noticed any sort of degradation in the audio quality. It's really not bad. The port for your headphone jack, however, is super deep now, and the included adapter is pretty much required unless you have some really narrow headphones that you can get down in there. Most headphones are not going to fit in this port without the adapter that does come with the case. So you'll be putting your little adapter in there and then plugging your headphones into the end of that adapter, unless you have some really narrow, if you remember the problem that the iPhone had back in the day with their headphones not fitting in anything, not being able to use any headphones other than Apple ones with the iPhone. This is a similar problem here. However, it's not that big of a deal because it comes with the adapter. You also charge this case with the included USB, micro USB adapter, which is the same port as what comes on the phone. So you can charge this case at any time, and then also charge the phone. You can't really charge them both at the same time, so you would want to charge your case while your phone is, probably off, or if you're running low on battery, you can also, just take your phone out of the case and charge both of them at the same time, which is probably what I would prefer to do at night. So overall, this is a really nice case. You can always see what your battery life is just by simply tapping on the button, and it gives you your battery indicator right here on the front. So there's that. Overall, it's a great case. Does add some weight and some thickness to your phone, but I am very confident now carrying this Samsung Galaxy S6 because I know that I can use it all day without worrying about whether or not I'm going to have to try and find somewhere to plug it in to charge it. So if that is your situation, check out this case from Incipio, this battery case. It's priced really well. There's a link in the description below this video to where you can check it out, see pricing and more information. Thanks for checking out this video on State of Tech. Subscribe to our channel for more reviews, products, tutorials, and other cool stuff, mobile and gadget related. And we'll see you next time on State of Tech.